Israel Adesanya and Khamzat Chimaev in the middleweight division. We have a call out, ladies and gentlemen. Khamzat Chimaev is okay if the Usman and Leon Edwards fight becomes a trilogy, and he says he would wait on that welterweight title fight to get the winner, but in the meantime, he says he's going to move up to the UFC's middleweight division and face none other than one of the greatest middleweight fighters of all time in Israel, the last stylebender Adesanya. Now, Adesanya is facing Alex Pereira at UFC 281. Khamzat Chimaev is facing Nate Diaz at UFC 279. The Leon Edwards Kamaru Usman trilogy probably is going to happen in like UFC 285 or 284. So it could honestly happen. I'm not saying this is not a possibility to happen, because if Israel Adesanya goes out there and he beats Alex Pereira in a pretty good fashion, beats him by decision, knocks him out, whatever the case may be, and he's the champion of the middleweight division, what other fights are there but a possible Khamzat Chimaev money fight at UFC 283, 284, 285, whatever the case may be, in Africa or something like that? Imagine that. Francis Ngannou's return on the same card of Adesanya versus Khamzat Chimaev or something like that. Imagine the pay-per-view numbers that this would make. And it's not that bad of a fight either. Israel Adesanya has some of the best takedown defense inside of the UFC. He's been in 5-round fights before. Khamzat Chimaev, we've seen him in a fight that he was not able to get the takedown in. It was a striking fight, and it was a very, very close one. So this is a good fight, in my opinion. I would love to see it happen in the UFC's middleweight division. What do y'all think? Who wins this fight in the middleweight division? And does it even happen? Because Usman Edwards is probably going to take forever to happen. So you never know. This could be a possibility. Ciryl Gane is a dirty MMA fighter. Junior Dos Santos, former UFC heavyweight champion and former foe of Ciryl Gane, called Ciryl Gane a dirty fighter for his second alleged back-of-the-head KO, this time over Thai Bam Bam Tuivasa. And if you remember the fight with Junior Dos Santos, Junior was about to get knocked out. He was getting rocked on the feet, about to get TKO'd, and he turned his head, and as that exact moment was happening, Ciryl Gane threw an elbow, and it did hit the back of the head, but Junior Dos Santos was moving his head into that back of the head shot, so it wasn't really an illegal fight, or illegal shot in the fight with Junior Dos Santos. And this one here with Tai Tuivasa, I rewatched it. It hit literally like the bone back here on his neck, which if you hit that as hard as you possibly can, it's not going to do any damage to your opponent. So I don't understand why Junior Dos Santos is calling him a dirty fighter. Clearly, the first one with Junior Dos Santos was an accident, and you were moving your head away from the strike. And Tai Tuivasa, I mean, he was wobbled, he was moving all over the place and stuff like that, so it's hard for Ciryl Gane to completely, perfectly place a punch to not land on the back of the head, especially when he's getting rocked, his head's going down like this, is moving all over the place. I don't think Ciryl Gane's a dirty fighter. I don't know what Junior Dos Santos is trying to say here. Ciryl Gane's a very nice fighter, he's a very good fighter, and I doubt he's a dirty fighter at all. I don't think any of this was intentional, but put your thoughts down below for Junior Dos Santos and Ciryl Gane in the comments section. Ciryl Gane wants a second interim title in the heavyweight division. He says, I would love to go for a second interim title fight before my rematch with Francis Ngannou. This is very, very interesting, because I know Ngannou is injured, but it's not like he's going to take that much time for Francis Ngannou to get over the injury. But I see what he's kind of saying is that if Francis Ngannou does come back as of right now, Stipe Miocic is there. That's the trilogy. They can do that. Francis Ngannou, Stipe trilogy. They could do Francis Ngannou versus John Jones, which is actually what Francis Ngannou wants. So in the meantime of John Jones versus Francis Ngannou, maybe, possibly, Ciryl Gane, Stipe Miocic for the interim belt. Ciryl Gane, Curtis Blades for the interim belt. I don't really know what the thought process is here for Ciryl Gane. All I know is he wants a second interim belt for some reason. No idea who it's going to be against, and I don't know what the reasoning being for another interim belt. What do y'all think about this in the heavyweight division? Paulo Costa and Robert the Reaper Whittaker in the middleweight division. This fight was scheduled a very, very long time ago, but it was canceled. Paulo Costa withdrew for whatever reason. Kelvin Gastelum ended up coming in there to replace Paulo Costa on short notice, and then Robert Whittaker looked like an absolute freaking amazing MMA fighter and dominated Kelvin Gastelum in that fight. Went on to win, I believe, one more fight, and then he went on to fight for the belt against Ciryl Adesanya. But this fight has never been made. Paulo's coming off a win over Luke Rockhold before losing to Marvin Vettori, and Robert Whittaker is coming off a win against Marvin Vettori. But now Paulo would like to fight that Whittaker fight, and he says he will go for the knockout. Now, this is a little bit funny for me. I saw the tweet from Paulo Costa. If you want to see it, we'll switch to that one. When I fight Whittaker, it won't be by decision. I'll go for the knockout. I hope he doesn't change divisions and go up to light heavyweight before then. But he's saying he's going to KO Robert Whittaker when Robert Whittaker has been knocked out, I think, only like twice in his MMA career. In the last like 8 years, he's only been knocked out twice. Plus the fact that Paulo Costa could not even knock out the man, the myth, the legend, Luke Chinny Boy Rockhold. So I don't understand what Paulo Costa is saying. He's not going to go out there and knock out Robert Whittaker if he can't knock out Luke Rockhold, one of the chinniest fighters in UFC history. But there you go. Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa. Who do you guys think wins, and what do you think about the call-out? Nate Diaz is making his own fight promotion like his brother Nick Diaz made in the years back. I mean, it was a long time ago that Nick Diaz made his organization. I'm going to see if there's any comments. Nick Diaz organization, War MMA. It was a crazy organization, lasted like one fight card, and that was about it. But now Nate Diaz, who's about to fight Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 279, is going to make his own fight promotion called the Real Fight Incorporated. I don't know what to think about it until the fights actually happen, until we see fights getting scheduled on that fight card. But I'm assuming, my guess here for Nate Diaz is that he's going to fight Khamzat Chimaev. He's going to lose to Khamzat Chimaev. Maybe he wins against Khamzat Chimaev, whatever the case may be. But he's going to put himself as the main events of these fight cards. He's going to make all the money, and he's not going to have to worry about Dana White taking away some of that money and things like that. But what do y'all think about Nate Diaz making his own fighting organization here, Real Fight Incorporated? Brady Hiestand, after his Ultimate Fighter stint, losing in the finale to none other than Ricky Tercios, getting his UFC debut against Fernie Garcia on November 19th. Per sources, and this is going to be a good fight in my opinion. Both guys are pretty good in their specific areas. Fernie Garcia is a good striker. Brady Hiestand is a pretty good wrestler and grappler. Should be a good fight. Early prediction is Brady Hiestand, but put your thoughts down below. Leon Rocky Edwards is not black. It's very interesting. I don't know how his tapology changed just so abruptly like that, but I believe a lot of Leon Edwards' wins and losses have been removed and changed around, because I looked up Leon Edwards' tapology earlier on today, and he's got a record of 12 wins, 10 losses, and 1 loss. I mean, I don't know how the tapology switched like that, but this is the real UFC welterweight champion. Headshot dead! I told you! Rocky Edwards, one of the greatest fighters in welterweight history right here. Dude, I don't know what they did to the tapology. They changed it. That's interesting. Ty Bam Bam Tuivasa says this after getting KO'd by Ciryl Gane at UFC. Friends, shout out to Ciryl. He was the better man last night, or whatever night it was. Ha ha ha. Probably one of the best crowds I performed in front of. The fans were crazy. Appreciate all the love. Shout out to my team, my family that came over. We'll be back. What do you think about Tai Tuivasa saying that he will make the comeback? Who does he find in his return in the heavyweight division? He's at number 3, probably going to move down a spot or 2 in his next fight. I think Sergey Pavlovich is a good fight, but maybe Tom Aspinall or something like that. Put your thoughts down below. That is it for today's MMA news. We got Tuivasa's return to the heavyweight division, giving his first words after getting knocked out by Ciryl Gane. We have Leon Edwards' Tapology getting changed. I don't know what happened there. We got Brady Heiston, Fernie Garcia on November 19th. Nate Diaz, a new MMA organization called Real Fight Incorporated. Ciryl Gane being a dirty MMA fighter. Ciryl Gane wanting an interim title for the second time, for some reason, as well as Paulo Costa calling out Robert Whittaker for a fight. That is about it for today's MMA news. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next. Last one. We also have Ciryl Adesanya and Khamzat Chimaev potential fight in 2023. Put your thoughts down below for today's MMA news. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.